I get this one question asked so many times in the comment section of the videos that I'm making. What should be the first programming language that you should be learning as a beginner? If you just started learning to code, what should be your first programming language? I totally understand this. You might be confused. When you go on Google, when you search for programming languages, you just get a ton of them, and it is totally okay if you are confused about it. In this video, I'll talk about exactly what should you be doing about this. First of all, the most important question I would ask you is, what direction do you want to go into? Do you want to go into making websites? Do you want to go into making applications? Do you want to go into making machine learning models? Do you want to go into solving problems? And once you have a clear goal defined, it's going to be a lot easier for you to find the programming language of your choice. First of all, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe, and let's try to understand this. So first of all, there can be a situation in which you just want to prepare for coding interviews. You want to crack that placement. You want to get into that dream company of yours. That's totally understandable. For that, you need to focus on your DSA concepts. For that, you might have to focus on your problem solving skills, on your logic building skills. And for that, there are only two languages that people prefer using. Number one is Java. Number two is C++. And you can choose whichever one you want to. A lot of people consider using Java because with Java, they can also do development. So they can build projects as well as they can do cognitive programming. They can do pretty much everything with the help of Java. So that's what they end up choosing. A lot of people also prefer using C++ as their first language. That is totally understandable. C++ has the largest community of people learning it and solving problems with it. So you can choose that as well if that's what you want to do. You can just flip a coin, you can choose whatever one you want to, and then you can just proceed with that. Afterwards, we get into the second aspect. Let's say you want to learn about programming and you want to actually build projects. Let's say you want to learn web development, right? So when you are getting into web development, the most important language you should be learning is JavaScript, right? JavaScript is universal. With the help of JavaScript, you can do both front end as well as back end with the help of Node.js. On the front end, you can learn about the basic JavaScript concepts, and then you can learn about various frameworks that are available. So you have React, you have Vue, you have Angular. You can choose whichever one you want to go with. React is the most popular one. That's what I have personally learned. And after that, once you start learning React, you can then also switch over to learning about Node.js. That's how you build servers. And then you can learn about MySQL databases. So now you have the front end, you have the backend also ensured. So that's how you are able to build a web application with the help of JavaScript. This is the most popular route that people end up choosing into web development, and that's what you can take as well. A lot of people also consider PHP as a language that they want to learn, which is totally understandable. PHP currently powers more than 50% of the web that we are having right now. So you can choose if that's what you want, but I personally like to go with JavaScript since it's just a lot more universal and you can just do a lot of more things with the help of JavaScript. Talking about front-end development, are you aware of the fact that a lot of companies now offer jobs just based on your skills? You no longer have to worry about not being from a good college, not having the good degree, or not having the accurate experience. All you need to have is talent and skills. If you think you've gotten the relevant skills for a job with the help of Relevel, you can get a guaranteed minimum salary of 4 lakhs per annum for non-tech roles and 6 lakhs per annum for tech roles, and this can go as high as 15 lakhs per annum. There is no age restriction to apply, which is the best part about it. There are companies like London Club and Small Case which are hiring for freshers and people with no experience with the help of Relevel by an academy. All you have to do is to register for the Relevel test, which is completely for free and no video resume is required. You can give this test from the comfort of your home and you can get amazing jobs based on your skills. Check out the Relevel Achievers Twitter handle to see how a lot of people are getting their dream jobs with the help of Relevel. You can sign up for the Relevel test with the link in the description. And now let's get back to the video. Moving on, you have Android development. Now with Android development, I don't have a lot of experience, but I do have a friend of mine. He's a senior Facebook software engineer and he will be talking about exactly what language should you be learning if you want to get into Android development. So over to you, Rahul.
Hey everyone, my name is Rahul. I've been teaching Android on and off YouTube for a while now, and I wanted to help answer the question about which programming language you should learn if you want to build an Android app. So there are two paths here, native development and cross-platform development. Native development means that you're going to be using the tools developed by Google and Android to build an app exclusively for the Android system. And cross-platform means that you're going to use a different technology, for example, Flutter or React Native, to build an app both for Android and iOS. And in my experience, most of the companies that really care about a high quality user experience will typically go the native route. So they're going to have a separate team of engineers working on the Android app and a separate team working on iOS app. So if you're going that route, the native route, then the two options you have for programming language are Java or Kotlin. Kotlin is a much more modern and recent language in the Android ecosystem, and Google is recommending that as the way to build Android apps going forward. So unless you have a really deep background in Java, I would highly recommend you start with Kotlin if you want to build a native Android app. On the cross-platform side, the two options you have are React Native or Flutter. React Native, you're going to be using JavaScript, and with Flutter, you're going to be using a programming language called Dart. And I don't have too much of opinion between these two, but React Native has been around longer, and it's been production tested, and it's been used in a bunch of different apps. So my preference would probably be to start with React Native, but it still is quite early days for cross-platform technology. So to summarize, if you have no opinion at all and you don't have any background, I would recommend that you start with Kotlin to start your journey as an Android developer. And I have found that most medium or large companies, they are going to prefer the native route because they really care about having a higher quality app experience compared to something like what you would get on Flutter or React Native. But if you really just care about having an app which is available both on iOS and Android, then I think the cross-platform route, JavaScript with React Native or Dart with Flutter, both of those are also great options to explore.
So that was Rahul. He has been doing Android development for quite a long time, so I thought of bringing him on. I hope you found him insightful. You can take a look at his social handles to learn more about what he's working on. But moving on, we have machine learning. So a lot of people are interested in machine learning when they get into first year of college. I personally was interested as well, and that's why I chose Python. Python is really easy to learn. It's very much a simple language that you can just go with and you can just understand the concepts. It's a lot of high level stuff, and you will not be able to understand the lower level concepts of programming, but it's a good thing to get started with. I think a lot of people will be confused if they just get into the complex stuff. So I think Python is a good starting point that you can definitely take a look at. When you go with Python, you will then have to transfer into learning about TensorFlow, or you can learn about SciPy, you can learn about sklearn or some other popular machine learning library. And that's basically how you start with machine learning. Now I have a separate video in which I talk about some free machine learning resources that you can use to learn about ML. You can take a look at that with the link in the description if you want to. Now, if you're still confused about what language should you be taking, that is totally fine. I personally took Python and I just went with it. Afterwards, I transferred into JavaScript. One thing to understand is that you can just start with JavaScript or Python. Basics of programming languages don't really change much. Every programming language will have a function. Everyone will have a class. Most of them actually. Then you would obviously be having some variables, you would have constants, you would have the basic concepts will always be there in all the languages. You don't have to worry about what language you are starting with. What's more important is what do you want to do with the language that you already have. Let me know what is your goal. What do you want to accomplish? Are you into web development? Are you into app development? Are you into machine learning? Or whatever question you might have, you can ask me in the comment section as well. That was the video. I hope you got to learn something from this. If you're still watching, just say I watched till the very end. It would be great if you can check me out on Instagram as well as Twitter. You can check out Relevel with the link in the description, and make sure that you take a look at this video if you want to learn about how to be consistent while learning to code. And you can check out this video if you want to learn about free programming courses that you can take a look at. That's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.